Welcome to Autofaze. On this video, we're going on an adventure. So about May of last year, I went to my buddy Ben and we did an alignment on this thing, and the passenger side lower A-arm needed some adjustment, and we opted to not blow it apart. We went ahead and got everything set, drove it 3 times, and the toe would change every time. So we were super frustrated. We finally did some more testing, found out there was a lot of play on the inners, so I ordered a steering rack. Well, of course, everything happened, you know, with the overheating issue, and we got so busy with the media side that I kind of just put it off the side. But now is the time, now is the year. We're headed to the track soon, baby. So today is kind of really the first week of really kind of race season prep on this. I got a huge list that I want to do. Of course, I'm going to take you guys along for the ride. On this video, we're going to replace the rack, do the lower rod adjustment for the passenger side A-arm, and we're going to get it on the alignment rack, get this thing so it's a straight arrow down the track, and I'm also going to check the pinion angle while it's there on the alignment rack. You know, I won't have to mess with putting it on the race ramps in the garage. And our driveway, we scraped the torque arm mount. This is the chassis mount, Midwest chassis torque arm mount, and I scraped it, and I'm pretty sure it kinked the metal up a little bit. So I want to check the pinion angle and kind of look at that thing really good, because I want to be able to look at it in the garage. And I actually messaged Ben last week to get on a schedule, and he's like, "Well, you got the rack in yet?" And I'm like, "No, man, I don't have the rack in yet. I'm going to do it in the garage next weekend." And he's like, "Dude, just bring it up here. It'll be so much easier on the rack. We can throw it on the lift, you know." And so I really appreciate him letting us use his lift, because it's going to be so much faster versus me rolling around the garage doing curse words. And I wasn't even going to film it because it was going to be such a pain. So I'm super stoked for that. And we got about an hour drive to go, so probably be the longest drive we've done since we fixed the coolant. Really, this will give us a nice test. We got to do 400 miles. I am confident that this car can do it anyway. We got full exhaust on this, baby, full 4-inch exhaust. So it's hopefully this audio turns out good. I don't know. I didn't test this out. Recorded on the GoPro 10 with a Sennheiser mic. So hopefully everything sounds nice and crispy. I'm gonna stay off the highways. Just go 2-lane blacktop the whole way. Kind of stay away from rush hour. It's about 5 o'clock. We're leaving. Stay away from potential rock chips, keep this thing as nice as we can. And I'm excited, man. We're going to do some work, and I'm going to get this thing ready. And man, everything is going good. We got about 45 for our PSI for our oil. Alternators charging. Temps are in lock. They're locked in at 195. It's 32 degrees today. We are running BP race ready coolant. About 90% because I ran out, about 10% just water. So I wanted to get up there as quick as I could. It's gonna get super cold, like 18 degrees tonight. And yeah, but basically we'll work on it, thrash on it tonight, make sure it's good. Do the test drive tomorrow. It's gonna be like in the upper 40s in the Midwest. We'll take that. It snowed here the other day, but it was warm enough it didn't really stick. And I'm glad that Ben's getting me in really quick, because we're supposed to get like 9 inches of snow next Thursday. I am over winter. Man, I love driving this thing. I can't wait to drive it with the new rack. It's gonna cruise so nice. I hope everything goes smooth. That's the most you can ask for. You know how things go in the garage. You start something, and before you know it, like a 10-minute job is like a 2-hour job. It always happens. So I'm really excited to get this thing going. And we haven't had a lot of WS6 content, so we're going to start rolling out some Trans Am content, and really start hammering on that before we kind of get busy on the media side of Autofaze. So yeah, let's jump along in the passenger seat and let's roll. It's been about a 30-minute drive so far. Everything's going smoothly, just cruising just like Shoes Factory, and but it's not. It's kind of a sleeper. Excited to get this thing up there, get it on the rack, get the steering rack out, and blow the passenger side apart. Man, I've had that passenger side apart so many times when we were trying to align it in the garage whenever we first got this thing going. So that shouldn't take too long to get going. And man, I'm just excited. I love driving this thing. I'm ready for warm weather, race cars, taking pictures of race cars, taking pictures of trucks. Man, I'm excited for 2023. I'm enjoying driving this thing so much that I gotta go the opposite direction. I missed my turn, so that's why the sun's in the opposite spot. But man, it's so nice to be driving this thing again. And I can't believe next week it's gonna be like 9 inches of snow on the ground. But we got 5 weeks to get this thing prepared, and this is gonna be a major step in doing that. And we got a retune in like 4 weeks. And then 2 weeks after that, we go down for some track testing at Mocan. And then in April, we got a drive and drag. It's a weekend drive and drag, 400 miles. And I know this thing's gonna absolutely kill it, because I mean, it's been running great. Of course, we'll bring tools just in case to be prepared. I am concerned about the rear being a little bit too low on the 28s. So we'll just kind of have, I'll need to fit that. I want to weigh it and scale it, you know, before we do all that. So we definitely got a lot of things to do. But we got a decent amount of time. As long as we don't procrastinate, I think we can get everything done. And I definitely want to test for boost leaks. And I got a few different things I'm going to do for that. That'll be a cool video. Probably drop after this one, actually. And as you can tell, I'm pretty excited. I love driving this thing. And I hope you guys like watching the content on it. And I'm nervous. I'm nervous if 5 pounds is if we're gonna go faster than 11:49, because we don't have a cage in this, and the drive and drag, we're on the U versus U. We're capped at 11:49, so we might have to get creative to stay under that 11:49. I don't know. We'll see. I definitely want to hook up the line lock and the two-step. That's on the list. Man, there's some other things on the list I'm forgetting, but we're getting really, really close. And we'll throw this thing on the rack. I love these 2-lane blacktops, just country cruising, just out enjoying your hot rod. That's what it's all about, right? So I'll see you guys in the garage. This is what I was talking about on the drive here. Thankfully, I totally forgot that we redid this exhaust, so we basically can just drop. The thing that I did forget to do is that this steering rack bolt, everyone installs this backwards, even though we have an aftermarket K member. Still might present a challenge, but besides that, shouldn't be too bad. We can get it on the alignment rack and get everything done. You're coming out of here. We're taking the cotter pins off. We're going to take these nuts out, and then I'm going to use Thor's hammer to get the tie rods to break free. Boom!
Look at that. Magic.
Hey, look, this one, because of the vibrations, this one came out. What's up? What's up? We got 2 bolts that hold the rack onto the K member, and this is that one I was telling you guys about. We're kind of investigating what we need to do, and we need to cut it, and really we need to find out how much threads, because I thought maybe we could cut the bottom to remove the power steering lines off the rack so we can drain it out. She's going to be getting fresh power steering fluid. I'm going to loosen up the top bolt on the steering shaft so I can have some play. Now I'm going to take the bottom one completely out, that way it'll just pop off the steering rack. There we go. Ooh, it's so close. It's so close. You got brain surgery so you don't get in the oil pan. That's got to be close.
It's close.
Okay, look how nice this new one looks. All right. Basically just swap over tie rods, throw the thing back in. Time to take off the lower BMR A-arm so we can move that rod in adjustment in farther so we get more caster adjustment. Boom, it's out of there. Jam that all the way in. We should be able to align this thing now. Let's put it back together. The problem is that insert now is hitting the top. Oh, whoa, there we go, that's perfect. Job for the brake line. Dude, I swear if this ever has to come out again, I'm gonna be so upset. Hey! Coilover's going back on.
Alright, good enough.
Ben is tidying up the exhaust while I throw the ball joint back on with the cotter pin. Time to set the rack in and throw in the bolts. Well, we ran out of memory card, but we got everything buttoned up. This actually gave us some trouble. Putting the steering shaft on actually gave us some trouble. We had to use a pry bar to kind of angle it up, but we got it on. Time to bleed the power steering system. Basically just gonna go back and forth, make sure I'm just a little bit from full lock, and do that a couple times, check the fluid, and it should be good to go. We'll see how it does. I think it's ready to go to the alignment rack, man. Beginning alignment, our toe is way off. Let's raise it up and do some adjustments. Torque arm had a battle with the driveway and lost, and now it's kinked. It got kinked up from the force. Left side. Really, all we did is do some S curves outside since it's 18 degrees, and look at this. More adjustments are needed, but not too many.
No, I mean, straightening up our toe a little bit is going to help a lot. So everything was bound up, so we took it outside, freed everything up, brought it back inside. Now we're going to see what it takes to...
This is Ben, by the way.
Oh, hi, I'm Ben.
I
Nice to meet you.
didn't really introduce him earlier. We just kind of
okay.
dove straight in.
We got stuff to get done.
Yeah, we just kind of dove straight in. No, not terrible at all. Definitely fixable with the amount of adjustment that we have.
Yes, yeah. Since we got our adjustment fixed up.
I think we can fix caster on the passenger side now versus what we had on May too.
Right. I agree.
Sweet.
So this is really good because we have a bunch of adjustment we can go in on, which is I think what we need to do to lower the caster just a little bit on this side, and that should make it drive straight when we get the toe set, and this thing's ready to rock. We're only -1 going towards the left side, so it's good. It's good. A little heavier caster. It's not the end of the world, but it's not ideal too.
Got it.
You know, we're just working with what we got. A little too light the first go around, so I'm kind of backtracking. I'm gonna lock it down, bounce it.
Here we go, driver's side toe, positive 0.01. She's gonna drive straight as an arrow, boys. All right, here's her final. What do you think, Ben?
I think we're gonna go see if she rips.
Let's do it. Rack already feels better versus what it was.
What it was before.
What it was
good.
when we did the alignment. This is the next day, by the way.
Yeah.
We didn't stay. Well, we did stay up pretty late, but not.
Yeah, pretty late, but we didn't feel like terrorizing the town yet.
This morning sun is kind of brutal. Caster improvements. It feels way more responsive versus
Right. Well, it was so
before.
far against itself.
Yeah.
It was fighting. That's what we were fighting for. Is the passenger side just had so much more, so it was just trying to strong arm you.
Oh yeah, no, you can definitely tell.
There we go. We have warm up tires a little bit.
Yeah, that's a little 60% throttle action.
Yeah. The road's a little cold, so doesn't really want to stick, but
it is like 33 degrees right now.
Right.
But I mean, even at 5 psi, this thing is so much fun.
Oh, it scoots.
Yeah.
It scoots.
That was just like slightly rolling into it, you know?
That's right.
I'll never forget that day I came here, the first time we aligned it, and you had your GTO on like what, those 25s?
Yep.
And you were just destroying tires.
Just lighting.
I'm like driving behind him, I'm like, where am I going and who is this guy?
It just gets to be a habit. You click in the next gear, you start going,
Right.
You're like, hey, I start to hear the turbo. You roll into a little bit more, hey, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're flat footing it. You know, it's just.
I'm pretty excited to share his turbo GTO on the channel. Probably this spring.
Yeah, we'll bring it out in the springtime. It's got a couple of lines in it though.
Oh, okay. That'll be good for the wreck.
Yep. I like taking this path because like on alignments you got to check, you know, how it turns, everything like that. So if everything feels good after this, you know, this test drive, then you know she's good to go.
Yeah, good to go.
And you know our straightaway, we got a highway we can hit, so
yeah, perfect.
We can boogie a little bit and make sure she stays where we like it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was.
There's a yield up here, so there's a 1-lane bridge. So we'll slow it down a little bit, make sure nobody's coming.
Yeah,
we're good.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, these this is the exact type of drives I love doing. It's 2-lane blacktops, country roads, nice asphalt. Love it. I think it's so much more. I was a little bit nervous when you're like, well, we're not quite in the green, but I'm just like, man, like the response we, especially since we adjusted that passenger side, we got more. We got the caster to kind of balance out versus before. It's way more better than what it was. Yeah,
the first time we tried to align it, and we had just so much more, and we were out of adjustment. Man, I was just like, we're gonna have to turn that thing in, man. It's just there's nothing we can do about it.
And then we decided we were just gonna leave it because it was gonna be such a pain to take it apart. And it was like 11:30.
Yeah.
But then we would take it out and drive it. We put it back, and then the toe would be off every time.
Right. It just did not like that much caster on that one side, and it was just not happy.
Well, then that and the inner tie rods, since there was so much play, we just couldn't lock in a consistent alignment spec.
Yep. And that new rack is, like you said, it looks like it's driving a lot better than it was before. Swing this right here.
I'll be honest, I was pretty nervous. I'm like, man, maybe Rock Auto sent us a bad rack.
A bad rack, yeah.
Because like last night when we left at midnight, when I would, even though we bled it a couple times, which we didn't film, we bled it another time and didn't film it. It was still kind of gritty, you know.
Right.
And I'm like, man, I was like, I'm nervous, man. Like,
it's just air.
Like I've never had to drive one. I've done a rack replacement. I've just been able to bleed it, just like, you know,
bleed it all the way out and be done.
Move it around a little bit, go and drive it. It's fine. I've never had one be that notchy. So I'm like, the whole night I'm just like, oh man,
stressing it out.
I was like Googling, like, how many times do people get bad racks? And I was like, man, maybe I messed up that steering shaft somehow putting it on, and maybe it's binding up on it. So I'm like, that's probably why I went to bed at 4:30 in the morning. Like 30 minutes of me was just like running through situations. Like, man, what did I do to mess up this? You know what I mean?
What did we do wrong?
Definitely eager to see how straight it tracks down the track. Because before, like the wife said, she could drive it. It was literally like hands free.
Right.
It was just straight.
Well, then you got a little added factor. That spinny boy up there might cause a little couple traction issues here and there, but
I'm just glad we got it to where it drives good, especially with the aftermarket K-member, the A-arms. You know, once you start changing all that stuff, it's hard to get that factory drive.
That factory feel back, no, I agree.
See what I'm talking about? Like, I think it feels like it needs to be raised up 1/4 of an inch. Even on small dips. Like, depending on where it's at, the rear still hits a little bit.
It can make you grit your teeth.
Yeah. So, like, when you drive it, you're just constantly like, oh, is this one going to do it? So you're, like, clenching, like...
Right. Yeah, buddy. Oh, yeah.
That's probably the first full throttle. I've only gone full throttle maybe twice in this.
Right.
Boost weather, baby.
That's right, cold weather.
That's not bad on gate.
No, it's not. It was getting with it, and you just Steering wheel stayed straight the whole time.
Stayed straight, kind of rolled into it about 55, went full throttle, and she stayed straight going. I didn't glance at the speedometer, but yeah, it was straight.
Yeah, I didn't either, but it was moving.
I know that car
felt like a solid 80, 90 mile an hour for sure.
Yeah, I know the...
I mean 55 on these public roads, that's what I meant to say.
We're on a highway. I know the cart behind us went away really quick.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. That's special effects.
Science.
Science.
Yeah, no, I think it drives good.
And it looks like it drives great. I'm happy it all worked out for us finally.
Yeah, me too, man. It was so much smoother this time versus last time.
Right.
Well, Ben, thanks, man. This was a really enjoyable experience.
No problem.
We got a huge thing marked off on the WS6 for it to go down the track. This thing drives straight now.
Oh, yeah. Got
after a little bit, and man, it runs really good. Of course,
she boogies.
Of course, it is low 30s, but man.
Yeah.
This was a really good time, man.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me out. I really appreciate the help. I was just going to be in alignment, but it turned into being like, I knocked 3 things off. What we do? We did the rack.
Yep.
We adjusted that lower A-arm.
Yep.
Did the alignment.
Yeah.
Awesome test drive with a friend.
That's right.
And we checked the pinion angle, which
we're
around
negative
-1, so there's no damage from the driveway. So everything worked out great.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to have Ben on the channel. He's going to be on again. We're going to feature his turboed GTO.
Yep.
Really cool build, so I'm excited about that. So stay tuned. I don't know, sometime, I'd probably say April, probably April.
Right.
So that'd be really cool. Thanks, Ben, for hanging out. Thanks for having me.
Glad having you.
Thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you on the next one.